You know the drill. You buy the ticket, you take the ride. And good morning. Welcome back to the Blacked Out Buzz. We ran into some issues with scheduling and whatnot, but we were lucky enough because we're doing this right now, and then like a few hours from now you're gonna be seeing it. Like it's early in the morning right now where I'm at, and where he's at it's late at night. But I was lucky enough. I want to do a couple shout outs quick because some people were so nice to us lately. First, Scooter Buell from All Soda Records sending Nicc and I the shirts and everything you've done for us. I appreciate it greatly, man, as always. And Rkl Rodriguez from OC Music News for sending me the shirt and stuff. I appreciate you as well. And keep doing what you're doing. She just got a promotion, and that's badass. You're doing a great job out there. And last but not least, I want to thank Morgan Farrell, who is back on the show today. Bring him on in. Hey, man, welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Like I was like, I didn't know what to do, and I was just, I forget what I was even talking to you about, and I was just like, hey, what are you doing Thursday and Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, my pleasure.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't we obviously talked about the normal stuff last time. I didn't know if you just wanted to tell some like road stories that were crazy, anything like that. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I saw on the internet that you just got an Rkl tattoo finished up.
I did. It was like a 13-hour job or something, 14 hours.
Right on.
It took like 3 sessions, but yeah, it's sweet, man. It turned out really nice.
It's Rkl is like, they've been one of my big influence. I mean, for fucking everybody, obviously,
yeah,
but yeah,
the thing is with me is like I knew of them and like listened to them mildly, and then like when I just was starting this stuff, I got into them and I don't know, if something clicked in my brain and I was like, oh my god, like this is some of the most amazing technical shit I've ever heard in my life, and like
yeah.
Like, I don't know, their bass play, I don't know, some of the changes and stuff. I was just like, how in the hell? Like, it's mind blowing to me sometimes.
They're just rippers, man. Like everybody in that band was so good. Yeah. I mean, is
right.
You know, yeah. I was a teenager, like a young teenager in the early '90s. I heard, I guess it was '94 or whatever when.
Riches?
Riches to Rags. And I think it was the first Punkorama.
Yeah,
and I was like, who is this? And then I got like a dubbed tape or something from somebody that like had have a couple songs were missing. Like, back in those days.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have Spotify or whatever. And so the first time I actually like got my hands on a CD, it was like years later. And then there was these other tracks that I didn't even know existed. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
There's like more. And then I found the back catalog and was like, holy shit, this band is fucking amazing. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I met one of them actually, Barry.
Oh, but actually Barry's actually supposed to come on here eventually.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's him and Scooter are actually in a band together called Saddam's Angels.
Right, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first gig actually ever outside of Canada. I was playing with the Authorities in San Francisco. But yeah, it's like before the show, and there was just this guy backstage, and I was, just yapping away, and he said something about, being an Rkl, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you guys are a fucking massive influence on me. And then he's like, I'm playing with the Authorities, which started in the late 70s and
I think he's playing 80s. With MDC now too.
He's playing with MDC now, yeah. But yeah, he was like, man, your band's been a huge influence on me. And I was like, I wasn't even alive when these songs were written, like fuck. But thanks, man. Cool.
Dude, he's a super cool guy. I actually met him
Yeah.
because I bought a Crosstops vinyl off eBay. And I was
Right
literally
on.
walking into the studio to throw the box away, and I looked and I saw it came from Barry Ward, and I was like, "Get the hell out of here!" And I'm like, so I'm, get on eBay immediately, and I'm like, "Hey, is this you?" Of course. And he's like, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "Well, what are the chances? Like, what are you gonna charge me to send me another one?" And he's like, I messaged him, and we just did it like through PayPal or whatever. But like, then he sent me an autographed one, which was cool.
Fucking right, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man. I felt like such an idiot too because I like fanboyed out on him
I do it all the
as you
time.
do, and
I
then
do.
yeah, and then but I forgot his name somehow, and then it was like not even that long ago, like a year ago or something. Like I'm friends with him on Facebook or something. I messaged him like, "Dude, are you the guy that I met like playing in this like?" I was playing with the Authorities like backstage at this show in San Francisco, and he was like, "Yeah, that was me." And I was like, "Oh, phew," like it's weird that I had to ask, but I'm glad I figured out the mystery,
Yeah.
the one person mystery.
No, it's cool, and like
But,
I don't know, it's kind of fun with them too, because I don't know, like I was big into like I used to be a big like action figure collector, and like I just sold all that shit off, but like their shirts and stuff like that are all like limited runs of everything, so like there'll be 300 of this, yada yada of that, and so
yeah,
it's fun to try to pick stuff up along the way.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
That's I think something I never really realized when I was younger, getting into punk rock and stuff. Like the merch and the records that I bought back in the '90s and stuff. Some of those bands only were only together for 6 months and put out a 7-inch or something, or put out a cassette. That.
Yep.
And I bought. I just happened to like buy a T-shirt from this random fucking small band and whatever city I was in, and now I have. I don't know. Most of it's gone, but I still have the odd things that I look at, and I'm like, oh shit! And I didn't. You don't realize it when you're young that like that's like a one of a kind. You might be the only person left that has that random T-shirt of that band,
Yeah.
or there's only a handful of that NoFX shirt out there, and you got one,
Yeah. I
because you
was.
were at that one show in Quebec City or whatever. Like that's like I don't know. It's awesome. Now that I'm old, I'm like I appreciate it way more for sure.
Same here. I actually was at my first work tour. I went to see the first time I was going to see Bad Religion. My buddy had a old NoFX shirt on. A guy walked up to him and offered him $200 cash for his NoFX shirt, and he wouldn't take it.
Right on.
He's like, no. He's like, no
Right
way.
on.
I think it was like a Longest Line T-shirt or something like that. But yeah,
Sick.
yeah, it was badass. But yeah, 200
I've got
bucks.
a really old like 3 inches of blood shirt that like they're from Vancouver. It's like
Hmm.
I don't think back in 15 years ago, I guess it wasn't all that special to have a 3 inches shirt. Like everybody had them kind of thing. And then I was wearing mine not too long ago, and it's like tattered. There's holes all through
Oh
it or
yeah,
whatever. And so my buddy, he's like, man, they only had like that was like one of their early shirts. They only had like a couple hundred of those made. I was like, cool.
yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know that, but wicked.
Yeah, no, and like, dude, it's so cool when you like, I don't know, like you said, when you get older, you do appreciate that stuff more because like, there's so much
Yeah.
stuff like, oh my god, like shirts and CDs. I actually have this Pennywise shirt. Like, I think I've worn it to every Pennywise show, and it's the same thing. It's tattered with holes and beat to hell. And
Yeah.
like, I actually found a new one on eBay or like on eBay or something like that, and I got all excited and bought it, and then like I realized that it was a size too big, so like now I'm reselling it because I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Do you remember those old No Effects shirts that it just had like a beer bottle it was like the late '90s or something. They were flying around. You could order them from like, fuck, what were those? Where there was like an order sessions catalogs or some
Oh
shit.
yeah, it was. Oh
I don't
my god.
know, but it was like a gray shirt. It just had like a beer bottle that said No Effects on it, and I still have that shirt, but you can like see through it. Like if you hold it up, like I can't wear it anymore because it's just like a few little spots around the neck that's
Yeah,
like still holding on. And so every time I look at it, I'm like, why do I still have this? I can never get rid of it, but also
you can't do
I can
anything
never
with it.
wear it. I can't do anything with it.
Yep. Well, that's I
Yeah.
actually had. Do you remember the punkers shirt they had with the Snickers bar?
No,
It's
yeah.
I
Yeah, like
still
everybody had those.
I still have
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
That was a big thing back in the 90s, doing like some sort of brand, fast food brand, or like a
they had the
chocolate bar or
Tricks,
something
yeah.
with like I think Good Riddance had like a Tim Hortons one, and
Yeah, NoFX had the Tricks
yeah,
one too, I remember.
yeah.
There was a bunch of them. I think Lagwagon had one too, I want to say. And I
No,
can't think.
I think like that was like everybody had
Yeah,
those
like
shirts. Yeah,
the
yeah.
90s were cool, man.
What a time! What a time!
It was. It was. Nobody gets it when they're like, I don't know. I work with a bunch of young people and I'm like, dude, you just don't even know. Like, it was good stuff. It was way better than it is now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, you always look into the past with
Right. But like, I don't know.
rose-colored lenses, but I feel like back in those days, I don't know, people like got more stoked on stuff.
Yeah, and it just wasn't easily as found. And like when you found it, I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like there was more of a
Oh
search
yeah.
behind it. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like I grew up in a small town in Nova Scotia. Like it wasn't like,
dude, there's
you
2,000
know,
people here.
yeah. Like it wasn't like anything was all that accessible to me. And so for me to like find out bands, this was pre-internet time. Like I had to like go to shows and talk to other people and trade tapes and like
Linear
go
notes.
harass the poor, yeah, exactly, the thank you notes and shit. And then like harass the poor people working at East. It was Sam the Record Man was like the record shop that was everywhere, and like the poor staff who don't even like punk rock or something. And I'm like, about this obscure band that I heard, that I read about I used to be able to buy really old like Maximum Rock and Roll. There was an all ages club in Halifax called Cafe Olay.
Okay.
There's always a merch table, but shit would take so fucking long to get to Nova Scotia in like 1993 or whatever. So I would buy issues of Maximum Rock and Roll, but they'd be like 6-month-old issues of Maximum Rock and Roll, and then I'd like be looking through those and looking at bands, and I was always like way behind the times.
Yeah. Well, like I'm a little younger than like most, so like all these bands that had these killer like 94 albums, like obviously I was alive, but like I was just starting to get into music. So when they like all released their second album in like 96, 97, that's when I like kicked it into hardcore to the music. Yeah. But like, I was still definitely, I don't know. It was still
I
good
lucked
times.
out. I don't even know. I lucked out. I just like a buddy of mine in like grade 7 in 92 or whatever year it was like, check out it was like the Sex Pistols and X-Ray Specs and stuff like that. And so I was like into punk rock already, and like Nirvana had happened, and I was like, that was a big band, obviously, for a lot of people. But yeah, like I was like already into punk rock when all those fucking albums got released. When like Let's Go, like I remember when Punk and Drublic like came out, and like me and my buddy got his mom to make a special trip all the way into the city, into Halifax, to like go get this CD. I think it has a tape actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like it was Punk Roll. They had a 2, and then they had a 2.1 that came with Van shoes. Like the Van was pushing.
Really?
Yeah. And the songs there's just a slight, literally, there's like the Pennywise songs difference. Like just a few songs are interchanged, like literally like 3 or 4. But my buddy got it with this pair of shoes, and I remember him putting it in. And he's like, "Oh my god, this is atrocious!" And I'm like, "No, dude, put that back in." And I'm like, So he hated it, and I was like, "I'll give you this Smashing Pumpkins album for it." It was that Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And he's like, "You can just have it." And I was like, "Great!" And I beat the hell out of that thing, man, like forever.
I would have made the same trade for sure.
Yeah, dude, it was the best trade I ever made for sure. And like we had a local radio station, lucky enough. And we had a lady who did this. It was from like midnight to 2 in the morning on Fridays, called the Anarchy Playground. And it was all punk rock all the time. And like I was 13. She's like, I'm like riding my bicycle in a Misfit shirt, because I did listen to them, but not much more.
Yeah.
She like stopped me and gave me a bunch of Dropkick Murphys albums and shit like that. And it was good there. But having that radio show was badass. Like she used to give away like signed AFI albums and shit, like when they were cool, and well, like when they were punk rock. I'm not gonna say when they were cool, not cool. I'm sure they're still all right.
I feel pretty comfortable saying that AFI is no longer cool.
Okay,
I
all right,
like
we can
I
do that.
cannot I
Yeah.
kind of I'm not
I,
on board with the new AFI.
and it's so
I don't know.
sad too, because like very proud of you. I think it's 25 this year, and like how badass would that be if that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I guess I kind of stopped really paying too much attention to AFI quite a while ago, and then not too long ago, like maybe a couple months ago, I was like, cruising around in the work van. And I was like, I'm gonna check out some new AFI and see what it's like. And it upset me. Like I was like, this makes me sad. And I like I don't know. I just feel like it's a different project. Like
It,
guys just call it something different. I don't know.
no, it
But
really is, man. It really is. It was
yeah.
it somebody told me they had just like recently seen them, maybe like 2019 or something. But they said the furthest they went back was oh my god, Girls Not Gray was the earliest thing they played, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's
That's
that's when it
that's
stopped.
horrible.
Yeah, because that's when it
Yeah,
stopped,
yeah.
man. Like that's when it
Yeah.
stopped.
I think the first time I saw them was on Sing the Sorrow, and I was not too happy with that record, but I was still like, yeah, I'm gonna go fucking see AFI,
Yeah.
obviously. And yeah, they only played like a few songs off the new record, and it was all like old bangers,
Oh,
and it
that's
was a
badass.
rad show. Yeah, and then I don't know. I think every time I've seen him since, it's just been like less and less awesome. And
Yeah,
but I'm always still just like, AV, like I know it's in you. I know it's in you.
I
Like bring
know.
it back. Bring it back.
That's what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
25 years this year, man. Just do it, like play it.
Yeah.
It'll take you 23 minutes or whatever how long that album is. It's not very long.
I'd say Black Sails in the Sunset still is
Oh, dude, that's
like it's still in like a weekly rotation in my life. Like still. Like it's been decades, but
yeah, no, that's like very proud of you for me. We just skated to that for like that's what always skating to that, man, and that just stuck with me forever.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's all like I said, up to Girls Not Gray and stuff like that. It's all awesome. Like you said, it's not even the same band really. Like they should have called it something different because it's the same guys, but like an entirely different project.
Yeah.
It was like Into the Unknown when Bad
Yeah.
Religion did that.
Yeah.
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 Maybe
Fuck,
not
that's a
that
funny
bad,
album.
but yeah, that is a funny album.
Ah, well. I mean, I can never fault like a musician for wanting to branch out and do different stuff.
No.
And I do, and I mean, as a musician myself, I find it, you got to grow, you got to move forward somehow, and it's got to be different for you because you're progressing and you're a different human than you were, especially when albums are 20 years old. Like I'm a different person than I was 20 years ago for sure. So the
Absolutely.
music I write now is different, but you do have to keep it kind of in the same realm. I mean, I guess you don't have to. You can do whatever the hell you want, but then you're going to get people on podcasts talking about how, you fucking suck now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go too far off, too far out of the beat path.
I don't know if I was talking to you when I said like I was so like around here like there was no bands going on, so I joined a country band. Like I wanted to,
yeah,
and like dude, practicing that music was that was I physically couldn't play it. Like I just couldn't sit at home and listen to it and be like, all right, I want to play that now. Like no, no. And I wanted to play so bad, but it just after a while, it was just like this is a big negative.
I forget if I brought this up when we talked last, but I had a similar experience where I joined like a cover band that just did all the bar normal, playing Sublime covers, and we did, Kiss Up a Rope and that Ween song, and just all the. It was like funny and fun songs, but it was still just like bar fucking hits that people could sing along to. And it was like fun the first show, and it was like fun the first few jams or whatever. But pretty quick, like I was like, it was, I was looking at it like it was a job, and we were playing 3 or 4 nights a week or something. And I don't know, maybe like a week and a half into it, I was like, this is music for money versus playing music for like passion. And I don't know. I think I lasted a month, and I was like, I can't do this.
Well, that's like, I don't know if you saw me bitching on Facebook. There's like, we have a cover band around here, and they're like, in like this town, for some reason, they've like, a lot of them have never left the 80s. So like, it's still like the Bon Jovi, the AC/DC covers, and like this band does it. And like now,
Oh yeah,
for some
yeah,
reason, like they're like everything, like event happening, that's the only band that's playing. And if they're not playing, no band's playing. And it's like, what the
yeah,
fuck? Yeah, like,
yeah.
and dude, it's so unfair. And just like, I'm so like, since I'm 37 now, since I've been 21, like I walk into a bar, you hear the same songs, like no matter what, you know what I mean? It is the same shit, no matter what. Usually the same
Yeah,
people, really. Even if I go in
yeah,
now, they're probably still there, sitting in the same spot, because they usually are.
yeah.
I haven't drank in a
There's
while.
like always that dude like dancing with his like hand on his belt buckle, like woo,
Yeah, dude.
yelling Freebird, and you're like, oh,
Uh, yeah. I remember one time I was in a cover band, and he wanted to hear an Offspring song. He was one of those guys. So we played an Offspring song, but he didn't know it. So after we were done, he kept yelling, "No, I said play an Offspring song." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah,
just go away, man.
yeah. Like I don't know how to work with that,
No,
man.
I don't even know what to say to that at this point, you know? Like, and I have something to say about everything, like usually.
Right on, man. That's
Yeah.
funny. So we had some big news here in Vancouver this week. We had they've like lifted a bunch of the restrictions for
Oh,
COVID, and September 7th is the magical date when it's going to be safe to have shows again.
dude, that's what does that mean? Travel's good again then too?
I don't know.
I,
Probably not. Probably I can't imagine the border. I don't know. But the border closing here has been such a joke too, though, because like I still see a ton of like American plates, Washington State and California plates and stuff driving around, and all you have to do is show up at the border and just tell them that you're going straight through to Alaska, and they're like, "Cool, come on in, guys." And
that's okay.
yeah,
Well,
it's
like
been pretty.
yeah, like that festival we're having in PA here, like there's a lot of Canadian
The
people
Camp
there. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Bigwig just got added to
Yeah,
that.
man. Like, yeah, those
Yeah,
girls are really surprising me because, like, it was just a local thing at first, and it's not so much anymore. Like,
yeah, it's
and
awesome.
they have there's still one more big band to be announced too. I was like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good stuff. But there's a
yeah,
bunch of Canadian
Bigwig.
people that we want them to come. Obviously, one of the girls that putting it on is, from up there, and
Oh, really?
yeah, so we're just hoping
Cool.
that she can get there.
I mean, fingers crossed. What I
Yeah,
keep seeing posts about it on like Instagram and stuff. It's happening in
September.
September.
Yeah, I think it's
Right,
actually like 9th through the 12th. So
right on. I mean, so that the changes and everything opening up here was it's our like provincial government. So I'm assuming that the person involved with that is probably from like Ontario or something. So it might be totally different
different. Gotcha.
up there, But I don't know.
But that's still
Yeah,
great. I mean, that's still no, and it's like happening here too. Like, you know what I mean? There's definitely it's lifting for sure,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
nice.
I'm pretty happy that the end is nigh.
I know. I'm actually this coming weekend. I'm going to see the Filthy Lowdown, and I cannot wait. Like, I, uh,
Yeah, you were saying that.
yeah, man. I just like being a show. I don't care. Like, there was like 5 people, 15 people maybe at the last one, including the other band. It didn't even matter. It was just like to hear live music again was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. I think a lot of people are pretty like thirsty
well, yeah,
to
dude. I
get
think Riot
back
Fest
in the
sold out.
saddle.
Yeah, Riot Fest sold out in like less than a week, and that's like all their 3-day passes and all their single-day passes in less than a week.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's yeah, they're
yeah.
yeah.
That lineup was pretty awesome too.
It was good, man.
But everybody's just like, please, can I just go be around people and like
Yeah,
have beer spilled on my shoes and
right.
like
Yeah,
have this sweaty shirtless guy run through me to get into the pit? I actually want that to happen.
right. Yeah, but like when it happens, you'll be like, I kind of missed that, and then the second time you'll be like, son of a bitch, you know?
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like again, like I'm like yeah, I didn't miss it that much. Like, geez.
Yeah.
But now it
Yeah,
will
it'll
be,
be
it will be like I can't wait to go to a festival again too. Like just I don't know the 3-day fest. Like there's just something special about those.
yeah, dude, that's wicked. Yeah, I was stoked when I saw Bigwig. I'm friends with a couple of those guys, and
Oh, really?
I toured I toured with them once, like as a roadie,
Oh, really?
and because Tom, I played a gig with Bigwig back in the '90s in my old band, like back when I was in high school, called Slump. And I mean, if you care to go look it up, we weren't good. We had a great time, but like we weren't awesome or anything. But we opened the show. Bigwig was touring with Gob at the time, and this is like 1997 or 1999 or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. Fast forward years later, I'm friends with Tom on Facebook. I don't remember how or why. He posted something about like, "Hey, we need somebody to come work for this tour," and this was like 2013 or 14 maybe. And I just messaged him. I'm like, "Hey, man, like, you know, I'll fly out just to do it for fun. I don't care." And he was like, "How do we know each other?" I was like, "We played a gig together once, like 20 fucking years ago. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, you know, I had enough money to go do it. And I was like, I'm just kind of in a space where I just finished like my degree or something, and I was like, I'm just in a space where I just want to go have fun." He's like, "Sure, man, come on out." So I like flew out to Jersey and met up with with those guys, and it was pretty funny because he was
Yeah.
totally like, he looked at me, he was like, "Oh yeah, I do remember you."
That's
and
pretty.
then I worked for him. You know, I spent like a week with them on the road, or 4 days, 5 days. I don't remember. It
They were
was
like my second or third punk rock show when I was like, I
all
don't know,
right.
14 or 15, and I just remember
Yeah.
I don't even know who was drumming for him at the time because I think it's changed probably a couple of times since probably
Oh yeah, I think
2001.
they're on drummer 11 or
Yeah,
15 or
well,
something
this
at this
guy
point.
like
Yeah.
I just remember going there. I didn't even know who they were, but I just remember he lit the drum kit on fire and played the first two.
Uh,
Yeah, and I was just
yeah,
like,
that dude. He wasn't the original drummer, but he
I
was the dude for like the main bulk of
and I,
the glory years of Bigwig.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit!" Like, and like they came on.
Yeah.
I think they started with Sink or Swim too, and it was just like, "All right,
Uh,
I'm fucking into this." Like,
yeah. Those Bigwig songs can get you fired up. He used to do jumps and shit too. I remember
y-
watching him, and I was like, the drummer is doing jumps too.
yeah,
Like,
he was hanging from
right
these
on.
rafters at a place in State College. Like, while I was
Yeah.
playing, dude, it was just fucking insane. Like, like I
Yeah.
said, I was hooked immediately. I'm like, "All right, these guys are fucking good."
Yeah. I listened to a cool interview with that guy. Have you heard the podcast? I think it's called "This Was the Scene."
No, I haven't heard that
It's
one.
all about like the New Jersey like punk scene in like the '90s,
No shit.
and yeah, and I mean, I don't listen to it all the time because I don't know most of the bands. They're like obscure small bands that existed from like '98 to '99 or what, like. But from what I gather from the few episodes I have listened to when I've like known the guest, um, they like the scene was insane in New Jersey back in those days.
Oh,
Apparently, I don't know. Anyway, that dude, I think his name's Matt something. Um, he did an interview, and he's got some good stories. It's a good episode. I recommend going and check that
no,
out.
I will, man. And right on, dude. Dude, you seriously saved the day here, like big time. Like I owe you.
Hey, no problem, man. Uh, One thing we didn't do last time is I didn't plug any of our band stuff. So
Yeah, do that.
Blacked Out Band is on all the socials, and maybe I did last time. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
I
I
think you
remember talking
did.
about ATD.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think you
Being a
did. But the
yeah,
sound thing probably fucked it up.
maybe I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? Probably threw you off a little bit. Maybe.
Anyway, ATD, a total disappointment, is always kind of one or the other for all the socials on that band, and then Authorities Punk Rock is my other band.
Yeah, and then you plugged
So
your wife's band too.
right, yeah, Alien Boys. Did you check him out, Jimmy?
I didn't yet. No, it's been, dude. I have this week was just not for me. It was not for me. But
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
will.
I'll send you a link when we get off here. Night Danger is the record that
Okay.
it's
Yes.
a banger. It's a banger, beginning to end. It's a great record.
I'll check it out tonight. I promise you. Send me the link, and I promise you. I actually
All
have
right,
time
buddy.
now. All right, dude. Thanks again. I appreciate it so much.
No problem,
We'll
man.
talk
Talk to you
soon.
soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Again, that was Morgan Farrell from Blacked Out and ATD and all those other great things, saving my day and saving our day. And Thank you so much, Morgan. And, again, thanks to Scooter. Thanks to the Pennsylvania ladies. Thanks to all those people that's been helping out, supporting. This has been cool, man. I can't say much more about it. And of course, thanks to Nicc for doing everything you do, man, because you behind the scenes make this happen. But you know the drill. You buy the ticket, you take the ride. We'll see you next time.